Good morning all. It's Monday morning. Everyone's in and out already. Bar Tony and Andrew. They're just looking over the mowers, which we obviously had trouble with at the end of last week. We'll do a little roundup of what went on at the weekend first, because we had some special guests come to the yard. So I'll just drop a couple videos in now, and then we'll get back to today's goings on.
Oh, you can't see.
Little weekend update. For those of you that have watched from the start, you'll remember my godson Bertie. He's sat up in Harry's tractor. I'm doing a little tour around the yard with Bertie and his brother Lockie. Lockie, do you want to be on camera?
Yeah. Say yeah. No.
You'd be on telly then.
You could be on telly.
Lockie doesn't want to be on camera for now. Maybe one day. So yeah, we've been walking around just looking at all the tractors and trailers because they're big fans. So Bertie's now taken on the 410. He's going to start on Monday. He's got a bit of George motoring to do.
What is Bert doing? Driving the combine.
So yeah, that was what we got up to on Saturday with Bertie and Lockie. Yeah, new drivers in 10-15 years time. Yeah, so today at the moment we've got Flynn and Will Hammond out in their tractors and trailers moving some digestate fibre. Not entirely sure what Will Hammond's got up to over the weekend, but this is his truck, so God knows. Yeah, Tony and Andrew are back here just going through the mowers, trying to work out what parts we need. Getting parts, or getting a parts diagram online for Pottinger mowers is turning out to be an absolute nightmare, or at least our model. So yeah, hopefully getting the parts diagrams through from Smorages shortly, and we can order up what we need. I'm thinking if they're in the country, I may even drive somewhere and pick them up if they're reasonably close, because we're up against it without being able to cut grass. And aside from those two in the yard, Will, Dad and Harry have headed off just to see a sprayer in action, meet up with a farmer, with an Amazon rep and a farmer, just to have a look at the Pantera working. Hopefully they'll send me some videos of that later on, and we'll catch up with them. But yeah, they're a couple of hours away, so we'll see what they're up to later on. Other than that, I'll try and bring you as much as possible of what happens today. Cheers. Eventually we got the parts ordered. Spoke to Pottinger UK. They don't put any parts manuals online anymore, because so many people are ordering up and ordering the wrong bits, because they've got so many different numbers that are slightly different from each other, that they've left the parts manuals purely with their dealers. But yeah, we've got the bits coming now from Smorages. Hopefully be there first thing in the morning so we can get them back together and sorted again tomorrow. Tony and Andrew can they've just stripped it so they can put it back together again. Then we've got fresh grass and grass silage later on this week, so we'll we'll need them. So that'll be tomorrow's most urgent job. For now, just try and catch up with the Sprinter drill. So you've all seen our HORSCH focus drill in action. You've seen the Kuhn combination drills as well. So that essentially made the Sprinter pretty redundant. I think last year we may have put in 20 or 30 acres with it. So it went up for sale, and I think it's being collected later today. So a moment of silence for the old girl. So this is a bit of the aftermath of what went on with the mowers. So you had to get this cog replaced. You can see the teeth on that are pretty obliterated. Same to be said for this one. This gearbox needs replacing. This, obviously, you saw on Friday, is a little bit broken. Yeah, so Tony's just taking it all apart just to work out what extra bearings we're going to need in the replacement of this, because we've got another one on the other side of the mowers, on the bit that's up in the air there, with a little bit of play in it. So he's thought, while the mowers are as they are, he can get them replaced as well without slowing us down at all. So that's what we've got on order. Hopefully being first thing in the morning, I can pick it up on my way into work, and get us going again tomorrow, ready for cutting grass on Wednesday. So while the mowers are getting sorted back in the workshop, Will Hammond, who is here in this tractor, and Flynn, who I've just passed on the way up here, are moving digestate fibre, taking that over to a land block pre-spreading, just to be stored out of the silage clamp here, so it's out the way. So that's getting loaded with the AD plant handler tiptoe bucket, as you can see there. That's then weighed out, so we know exactly how much has gone, so we know the nutrients that are being put back into the soil, and that will head off to the land block we're going to store it at. Once the clicker works, there we go. With the combine making an appearance last week and servicing starting on it, I just thought on my way back from the AD plant I'd stop in on the closest block of wheat. Got 45 acres of wheat here. Check on how it's getting on, and you can see it's starting just to change a little bit. It's not that same dark green it was a month or so ago. It looks like it's coming on quite nicely. I think give it a month and we'll be pushing towards harvest date for this block. And right next door we've got a field of maize as well, so I'll just jump in there and check how that's getting on, especially after last week's scorching weather. Yep, the maize here is doing pretty well. Looks like it's responded very well to the heat of last week. I'll give you an idea of how high it is at the moment. Sort of around my waist-ish. Some of it's slightly higher than other pieces, but it's pretty evenly kind of at my hip, so that's flying along quite nicely. I know the weather this week's supposedly going to be a little bit hit and miss, but the temperatures are kind of there now where they need to be for the maize to kick on, and I think next week's coming quite nice again with some more sunshine, so we're moving in the right direction with the maize crop. Just try and make my way back out of it. This is a very small update on how the crops are getting on that you've seen go in the ground. It really won't be very long now before harvest season well and truly kicks on. So Flynn sent me this video from the field where had been tipping some fibre. He did a very nice commentary along with it, but then rang me and told me that he didn't want the commentary to go on YouTube because he thought he sounded stupid with what he was saying and that I had to talk over it. So I did debate leaving it on there, but I've done as I was told, and this fibre will be spread soon, pre-drilling. So that was a very quiet day. I do apologise, but thanks for watching regardless. I was hoping to get some videos from the sprayer that Dad, Will and Harry are looking at today, but none came through, so that'll be all for today. Thanks for watching, and the rest of the week will pick up, I promise. Stick with me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Cheers.